Hey guys, welcome back to Not Timmy 66. It's a little bit later on in the day. If you watched my last video about how to smoke a pork shoulder the proper way, and again, I'm sorry for the whatever those are called in the trees, the background noise. I do apologize. But I thought I would give you an update on what the pork shoulder looks like. So we are currently at 313 degrees. The pork shoulder is at 145 degrees internal temperature. By the way, in my previous video I was incorrect. You have to cook a pork shoulder to at least 204, not 140. My wife corrected me. Don't listen to me on that temperature. It is at least 204. But let's take a look and see what she looks like. Oh yeah, getting lots of good smoke. And see, it's building that bark. That's what you want. At least that's what we want, is a lot of heavy bark on it, because that tastes really good. It's really smoky and good. So yeah, pretty cool, huh? By the way, yesterday when I posted my video about our garden and the new grill, for some reason I only showed you the stuff that was out in the raised bed. Let me show you what else we have. So my wife has these green stalks, and they are awesome. What's really nice about them is you can plant a whole bunch of stuff and they're vertical, and you fill them from the top with water or fertilizer or, you know, food. Anyway, we have carrots here, which are kind of going gangbusters right now. We have some more strawberries, which are flowering. In that green stalk. And then this green stalk, I like to call it the jungle stalk, is actually tomatillos and tomatoes again. Now, we're not having much luck with these actually producing a whole lot yet, and we're trying to figure out why. They're not producing like the ones out in the raised bed. As a matter of fact, we have a few flowers coming, but if you look back here in this jungle, you can see that that's the only one that we have budding so far. Out of this whole huge mess, that's all we got. But it's still early yet, so we'll see. Then moving down here, my wife has herbs. We have a fig tree in this pot. I can't remember what this is, but it's not fruit bearing bush in this one. Right here in this one is a lemon tree. Over here we have peppers, habaneros and jalapenos, which are coming along nicely. And then we just also got this one, which is a blackberry plant. And right here is a blueberry bush. So we got a blackberry, which is really doing well, and a blueberry, which is also doing really well. And then we finished it out over here with a few more tomatillos that I planted in here. And again, these are not doing real well. Now we do have some flowers coming on them, but I'm kind of afraid that the pot might be a little bit too small. I'm not sure. That's why gardening is such an adventure. So it's a little bit later on, and let me show you. Temperature is now, it's 2 o'clock. We started this at about 10 o'clock. So down below is the pit temp, which is 273, and the temperature of the the pork shoulder is 153. And there's how she's looking. So it's building some excellent bark. It's going to be really good. Let me show you guys this too. So I've only used 2 splits so far of pecan wood, and we still got a really, I mean, if you could feel the heat off this thing, you'd be like, woo. Anyway, here's the flames, and as you can see, it's kind of burned down pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more. Ouch, that's hot. Hot. I should have my gloves on. There we go. Sorry for the finger. One more stick of wood. And we'll just let it continue to cook. Guys, what really helps for me is when I add sticks of wood like this. If you can't tell, I add a little bit more of this lump charcoal. And I really like using the lump charcoal because it really burns hot and it burns for a long time. So once you get the fire started, you know, which I use, as you saw in the previous video, I start out with the match light, and then I will add a bed of the lump charcoal, and then I'll just start putting splits of wood in accordingly. And ideally, you want to try to keep your pit at right around 250 degrees, 250 to 275, maybe to 300, not super, super hot during the cook. And the splits of wood you put in are basically how much smoke you want to put on it, okay? Once you get to a point that you think you've got enough smoke, enough bark built up on the outside of the pork shoulder, thank you, dog, then you can go ahead and wrap it and finish cooking it that way. And my dogs have just gone crazy. So ideally, what I was trying to explain before my dogs rudely interrupted me, gosh, they're so rude, I swear, is that you want to maintain your pit at about 250 to 275, okay, during the majority of the cook. And that's where you're putting the splits of wood in. The splits of wood are in there obviously to build heat, but also to keep that smoke going across the meat. Once you get to a point where you feel there's enough bark or crust built up on the outside of whatever it is you're cooking, be it a pork shoulder like we're doing now, or maybe it's a brisket, whatever. Once you reach that level, then you want to go ahead and wrap it. We usually wrap it, you can wrap it in butcher paper, or you can wrap it in Reynolds wrap, you know, tin foil, and put it back on, put the probe back in through it, and go ahead and cook it till it reaches temperature. That's how I do it. Well, that's how my wife does it, and I pretty much do what she says. After dinner roughhousing. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you what a good bark on a pork shoulder looks like. That is perfect. Perfect for us. Now it's still not done. It's only at 167 degrees, but we have a nice smoke ring. It's nice and juicy. We tasted a little piece of the outside of the bark. You can see where I got it right there. Took a little piece off and tried it. It's excellent. Now I think we're going to wrap it and finish cooking it. Alright guys, we got it wrapped and the probe back in it. We've also added a little bit more fuel, or I've added a little bit more fuel to the fire. I'm going to let that heat up pretty good. Now it's just all about getting it to that proper temperature. We got plenty of smoke on it. It's excellent. I tasted a little bit of the bark, like I said. So good. Alright guys, well, I'm just going to wrap this up. It is 7:33. So we began this process about 10:30. That was with me starting the fire. If you watched the first video, go back and watch that one. I posted it earlier today, and get this one out for your viewing pleasure. But that's how we, well, smoke a butt. Smoke a pork shoulder and make it juicy, make it tender, make it excellent. That one's not going to be eaten until the 4th of July, which is Tuesday. But now all our cooking's out of the way. So right now it's wrapped on the counter, it's resting. We'll put it away and bring it back out on the 4th of July. That, folks, is how you smoke a pork shoulder the proper way. No matter what you do in life, make it count. Thanks for watching.